What's going on, guys? Welcome to another stream. It's been a little while since I streamed, but yeah. And as you've seen in the thumbnail, we will be talking about the Essential Legends collection covers. We're going to go over all of them and share my thoughts. And yeah. All right. Well, let's just get started. All right. So we'll go there. Okay. So the first one we'll look at will be the Revan book. Oh, darn it, I went. No, we just want to look at the cover. All right. So yeah, because the old cover is just Revan holding a green lightsaber in a attack position. This one has a Sith. It's kind of cool, and then you got all these like geometric shapes and stuff like that. It's not horrible as some of these tend to be, but I think I just prefer the other one. You know, it's more simple, but I like the style of the older one too. So, all right, I think move on. Deceived. Yeah, this one. I don't like this one. Just because, again, like I don't like the style of the cover. You know, because obviously you have Malgus and Aaron Lanier, I think. So, yeah, but whereas on the old cover, it's Malgus, which I mean you can't beat that. So I would still say the old Deceived is better, but this isn't horrible. Let's put on some Let's put some music on, just so it's not so boring. Okay. All right. Next, Fatal Alliance. Oh yeah, this one, man, they're just getting worse and worse. Yeah, I don't, because yeah, you have the Sith, who I think is, yeah, but then you have, it looks like a lady Jedi, and there isn't a main character in this book that's a female Jedi. At least I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, I don't like. Yeah, they just keep getting worse and worse. And not to mention, this book is just not that good. All right. Check comments. Oh. Jay says, "Why did they change the covers?" Well, for the new release, because it was what, around 2020 when they started making these, they decided to, you know, it's a re-release of all these books, so they decided to give them new art, as happens a lot when re-release books. But most of these covers, they have a tendency to not have very good art. So yeah. Next we have Annihilation. This one's, yeah, and then you look, they almost look like they're, I don't know, like ghosts. They don't have feet. They're like fighting, and yeah, it's just kind of weird. I think this one's a little bit better than Fatal Alliance, but not by much. Yeah, but again, like I don't think these are the worst, but they're not great either. So we have Knight Errant. Okay, that's different. I don't think I've seen liking this one. It's not horrible because the old one is just the face of a character with a lightsaber right close to her face. So is this one more interesting? I think this is more interesting. More is going on, but it's also kind of like what is going on. And then the Jedi character, Kara Holt, it almost looks like she's like a ghost. And then you got all these like Sith falling into this abyss. So it's interesting, but it doesn't really depict anything from the book. All right, now we got the Bane trilogy. I don't love this style, which is going to probably be the case for a lot of these. But yeah, this isn't horrible, but it doesn't beat the old one, because the old one for Path of Destruction is also Darth Bane, but I like the style better. So yeah, but then you have Rula 2, and Rula 2's old cover is kind of notorious. It's not that good, but this is okay. But again, I wish it was a different style. And then Dynasty of Evil. Yeah, what's with the like yellow lightsaber or whatever's going on? They both should have red. I don't know. Man. And then next, okay. Shatterpoint. Let's check comments. Matthew says they look like AI to me and are garbage. Yeah, I think I don't know if all of them use AI, but I think some of them do use AI, because some of them, if you look closely, they look like they're like they have weird fingers, or they're missing parts of their body that they should have. We'll get to some of the ones that look really AI, but yeah, that's probably Whereas for Shatterpoint, this is, I don't know, it's okay. It doesn't beat the old cover. I think the old cover is more interesting. So, but that's the case for all of these. And then you have Yoda Dark Rendezvous, which is, similar style with Yoda on it. So, Matthew said, I remember when they had good art, especially from the Japan covers for the New Jedi Order. Yeah. I wish that they would have used those covers, those Japanese covers. They look awesome. Way better than this. All right, what do we got? Republic Commando. Oh yeah, Republic Commando are the ones that look really AI. You just look like they don't really look like commandos in the armor, because Republic Commando armor, it makes them look big and stocky. This looks like regular clone trooper armor with some extras on it. I don't think this looks as good. But there's Hard Contact, 000. This one's like, what is going on here? It looks, yeah, I don't know. Not my favorite. All right, let's check the next one. Dude, this one, if you look closely, this looks this looks like AI. You can tell, yeah. Because look at the helmet. That doesn't look like a clone trooper. It looks kind of like a clone trooper helmet, but it's still off. So all of these are AI. And then for Order 66, you have that. I mean, it still has, all of these have the same problem. They all look AI. Then you have 501st. This one looks, no, it's still, yeah, they all look crappy AI. That's unfortunate. All right. Calcite the Lion, greetings there. Hello, Calcite. Hope you enjoy the stream. Calcite says it doesn't seem like it was repainted. I don't think, no, they weren't. But yeah, and now we have the Force Unleashed, which I don't hate these. These look good. The style is okay. At least it's more artistic. And I don't think, well, I don't know. I'm not a very good judge. Is this AI? I don't know. It looks, if it's AI, it's better than like the Republic Commando covers. Then we have Force Unleashed 2, which, yeah, I don't really have any issues with either one of these. All right, check the comments. Matthew says, I loved the Republic Commando video game and Battlefront 2 and was devastated when they canceled Battlefront 3 and Imperial Commando sequel game. Oh yeah, it's a shame we didn't get those because I liked the Republic. I liked the Republic Commando game. And I'm not a big fan of shooters. So, but I enjoy playing Battlefront 1 and 2, and Republic Commando and that. But yeah, I wish we would have got Imperial Commando. That would have been fun. I also wish KOTOR 3 and Force Unleashed 3 weren't. Oh, so do I. So do I. Next, we have Razor's Edge. I don't know why they decided to do Razor's Edge. That is not essential, but the cover is, I think it's fine. I actually think it's pretty good. Because the old one is just Leia holding a blaster in like kind of a gray. Yeah, I actually like this a little bit more. But it's pretty basic still. All right. And then we have Honor Among Thieves, which again is not essential, but this is, I don't know. I think the other one's better because it's, I think the background, it just being simply orange. I wish there was something more interesting in the background. Yeah, the old one is better. This one's, Not as good. Not as good. All right. Oh, now we're in X-Wing. And the X-Wing books, I like their covers because they're unique, because they're like the only books that have, instead of like characters doing something, it's vehicles, which makes sense. We're talking about X-Wings here, so yeah, I don't think these are as good as the old covers, but they're okay. I don't know, not the worst. What's the best of these? You got Krytos Trap with the Sard. I kind of like that with the purple. I might be slightly biased, but yeah, let's check comments. All right, Calcite. It is a shame. Must have complicated factors. I assume that's referring to canceled games. AJ says, do you own any of these books with the updated covers? The only Essential Legends cover that I bought was Death Troopers. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the only one that I have. So, yeah, I don't love most of these covers, but if this is the easiest way for you to get these stories and read, the most important thing is reading the stories. But if you can find the better covers, I would do that. Matthew says that does not look like Mark Hamill, more like Prince Valium in Spaceballs. Oh, referring to probably, I think that's referring to Honor Among Thieves. Oh yeah. Yeah, not too good. Then we got Wraith Squadron. I think these are a little bit better than the Rogue Squadron covers. A little more interesting. A little more going on. It's cool because I don't think they put oh, what's that Mon Calamari pilot name? I can't remember. Oh, Jasmine Akbar. I think she's the niece of Admiral Akbar. So that's cool. And then you've got Piggy. That's cool. These actually are kind of cool. I don't hate these ones. The color is kind of weird. Oh, then you got Ekwash, the horse guy. Yeah. Yeah, these are weird, but all right. The Thrawn trilogy. I don't think these are horrible, but I actually like the old covers. They're memorable. You got Thrawn and Luke. I think that's a good choice. Although I do think they gave Thrawn pupils, and he does not have pupils in the EU. Dark Force Rising, Han and Leia in a Stormtrooper helmet. Yeah, I wish these covers had more. I like either putting characters that we don't normally see on covers, or like depicting a scene from the book. I think that's the most ideal thing for a cover. And then you've got Last Command with Luke and Mara. Why is Mara Jade wielding a green lightsaber? She doesn't wield a green lightsaber in that, does she? No, I don't think so. All right, check comments. Matthew, yeah, I dislike Legends, and it's on everything they reprint, comics and novels included. It's expensive to completely avoid Disney, but worth it. The public libraries are likely to have Legends print. Yeah. It bothers some people. it doesn't bother me, but I do prefer the look of the covers without the Legends banner. I think I only have one Legends print I intend to replace, and it's the Lando trilogy with the bizarre Hidalgo intro. Yeah. Yep. Most of my books have the Legends banner on them because I'm not too picky. My preference is to have it without, but yeah, I want to read the stories, and going the non-banner route would take a long time. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is with my favorite books, I'll get I'll get them in hardcover, and then I won't have the Legends banner. So, all right, what do we got after the Thrawn trilogy? Oh, just the single ones. Oh, okay. This is the worst cover. This is just ugly. Dawn of the Jedi. It's ugly. It just, yeah, I don't know. I assume the big blue sphere, that's a planet, and so is this reddish orange one, and then this like tan one, and then I think you've got a Tho Yor in the background there, but there aren't any Tho Yors in the book, right? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been like 3 years since I've read this book, and this book was horrendous. Honestly, this doesn't even really look like a Star Wars book. You look at her sword, and I know that they don't have lightsabers in this, but at least make the sword like more interesting and less like, yeah. This kind of looks like a weirdo fantasy novel cover. All right, then we got Darth Plagueis, which isn't horrendous, but the other cover is better, with Palpatine kneeling to Plagueis. Yeah, I think that's just better. But this one's okay. Then we got Maul Shadowhunter. This one is really good. You got Coruscant, a shadowy Coruscant in the background with Maul. Yeah, like this is actually a really good cover. A really fantastic cover. I like it a lot. All right. Let's see. I do need new copies of the Zahn trilogy. I've ruined so many of them reading them. Would like a first edition paperback of all three. I already replaced Han Solo Adventures, which came apart. Oh yeah. Well, if you're gonna get first edition paperbacks, then would you still read those, or would you keep them as like awesome books to go on your shelf, and then you get like cheap reader copies? Because if you're gonna get first edition, they're probably not cheap for the Thrawn trilogy, I would think. But yeah, that would be cool to own some first editions for some Star Wars books. All right, then we got Rogue Planet, which it's another one that I'm, this isn't essential. Got Obi-Wan and Anakin, which I think is fine. It would be cool if there was some representation of the planet, or at least the organic ship that they make on Zonama Sakat. But yeah. So Obi-Wan has a green lightsaber, but the hilt is wrong because I do think in this book he wields Qui-Gon's lightsaber. But yeah, if it's Qui-Gon's lightsaber, the hilt, yeah, that's Obi-Wan's hilt. So yeah, but not the worst. Yeah, I mean, with that detail aside, I don't hate this. But yeah, I wish that there was some aspect of Zonama Sakat in the cover, because it's pretty important to the story. Then you got Outbound Flight, which what's with all the weird colors? Yeah, some of these are just like weird color. Yeah, like, and this is probably another AI one. Yeah, see, look, Throne has pupils again, and he shouldn't. Got Outbound Flight there. Yeah, like I don't understand the weird psychedelic colors because this book isn't psychedelic. It's yeah, the old cover with the blue and just Outbound Flight flying. Yeah, like that's better. Although the Japanese cover of Outbound Flight is cool because it's got Sabayoth on it and Obi-Wan and some other characters. Kind of weird. And then you have Kenobi. Yeah, I think this is this in the style of the Yoda and Mace Windu? I don't think it is. This looks painted. Yeah. If this is AI, it's not very good, but if this is actually painted by someone, it's okay. Again, not my personal favorite style. I would rather it be like hand drawn with and then colored some other way. But painting's better than AI. Then you have Dark Lord, which is Darth Vader. Kind of boring. I mean, yeah, Darth Vader on here makes a lot of sense, but yeah, put an interesting background rather than just darkness. Then you got the Lando Calrissian Adventures, which I believe this is just reusing some art from one of the books. Oh look, there's Vufi Raw. I didn't notice that before. So yeah, reuse of art is not that creative, but at least it's not ugly, crappy AI art. And then the Han Solo one is we're just gonna take this kind of standard Han Solo, standard Chewbacca. We got is that Jabba? No, that's not Jabba, but it's not horrible, but it's kind of boring. Yeah, and like these two don't match in style. It's like if you were gonna do that with Lando, then pick one of the covers for the Han Solo Adventures. Oh yeah, and then Death Troopers. This I have this book. I've got this cover, which it's not as good as the other one because the other one is actually simpler, but I think it's more effective because it's a bloody stormtrooper helmet with a hook through the eye. I think that's more effective. What do we got here? What was it? Let's see. Math. Oop, no. Oops. There. All right, Matthew says, depends, I suppose. I have like 7 printings without the raised Star Wars lettering for Last Command, but all my copies of Heir to the Empire and Dark Force Rising are in terrible shape. I've read through them a lot. If you're ever in London, you can visit Forbidden Planet comic book store. They have the normal covers. Oh, really? That's cool. I have no idea if I will ever go to London, but thank you for suggesting that. Calcite says, I'm still hunting down Clone Wars Omnibus and Quinlan Voss Jedi in Darkness. Some comic stuff. Yep. I'm slowly collecting comic stuff right now too. But I'm focusing on getting the novels bought and read and that before I kind of delve into the comics. I don't know why the 3rd volume of the cycle got so many more reprintings than the first 2, but book publishing is not my background. I do have The Last Command in hardback. Oh, cool. I have all of the Thrawn trilogy in hardback. I bought them at a used bookstore when I saw them. So, yeah. Pretty cool. Those won't be my reading copies. I will read my paperbacks and keep my hardcovers to look good on the shelf. Calcite. It doesn't look as graphic as the original Death Troopers cover. Yeah, and like on the Stormtrooper, it's like I think that's supposed to be blood, but it doesn't look like blood. It looks like dirt, or maybe like, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't look as good. And then you look the zombies in the background, they look kind of almost cartoonish, or yeah, they just don't look. Yeah, because I mean, the front you have the zombie there. It's like they don't look like that. They look, yeah, they look cartoony, but the front doesn't look like that. So yeah, Scoundrels. So we've got most of the teams. No, I don't think that's the whole team, because I think there's a few more. But you know, I don't hate this cover. It's interesting. Because the old cover is actually, I think it's Han and Chewbacca on like a police lineup. You know, what do they call that? Where you get your mugshots taken. Yeah, so this isn't bad. Could be worse, as we've seen. Choices of one. You got Palpatine looming in the background with a couple of stormtroopers, and then Mara Jade with the pink lightsaber, which is accurate because she uses that in this book. Not bad, but the other cover where it's actually kind of similar to this, but it's Mara Jade standing in front of a stormtrooper army. I think that's cooler, more impressive. But this isn't bad. But it's almost like the other one is so good, then yeah, and that's not like a improvement or something way different. Shadows of the Empire. I like this one. I think this one looks decent. You know, you got Dash Rendar, Boba Fett, which is weird because Boba Fett doesn't really feature heavily in this story. Yeah, why not put Princess Leia and Chewbacca on here as well? But yeah, and then you got Prince Zizor looming in the background, which is actually very similar to. I'm pretty sure Prince Zizor is looming in the background on the original cover, but I don't think he's like. I think you can see more of his face. Darth Vader. Yeah, I like this cover. This is probably one of my favorites of the Essential Legends collection covers. But that really isn't a high bar because you know they're not the greatest. They are not the greatest. All right, what do we got? I had Heir to the Empire Anniversary Edition. Yet to get others. Is the Anniversary Edition the one that's got like the silver cover? It's for like the 20th anniversary. Is that the Anniversary Edition? It's understandable. I'm still eyeing on the novel. Yep. Favorite canon book? Are you like Disney canon? Favorite Disney canon? I'll answer that. I haven't read a bunch because I'm done reading Disney canon, but out of what I've read, it's I like the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy. I like that. I like Dark Disciple. And Thrawn, the first Disney canon Thrawn book. I did enjoy that one. So old Dark Horse trade paperback prices are all over the place. I want to collect the Star Wars Republic comics, but they can be expensive. I really like the old Quinlan from before Filoni or a Saying Adventures. Yeah, I'm excited to get into the Republic comics. I've heard so many awesome things about it. The Battle of Jabim and Quinlan Voss and all sorts of other stuff. I really want to read it, but yeah, most of the comics that I have right now, I bought the Marvel Epic collections. So but I do have some single issues and some other stuff. So basically, I'm just gonna if I find it in whatever format, I'm gonna get it just so I can read it, and then eventually I'll probably try and get it in the format that I want to collect it in. All right, Courtship of Princess Leia. I like the Leia in the wedding dress. I like that, but the background again is boring. I don't know why we have to have these boring covers, and why can't we throw in some other characters, throw in some Night Sisters and Han Solo and Princess Older, and like make the background Dathomir. Like, because Dathomir is a very important part of this story. So, but yeah, so I like the Leia, but then we have I, Jedi. This cover is, I think it's AI. Yeah, because that isn't what the temple on the Yavin 4 looks like. Because we've seen what it looks like. It's in the movies. Yeah, like to me, yeah, and like then you've got kind of like skyscrapers next to the. Yeah, it just doesn't look good. I assume this is supposed to be Yavin 4, and Corran Horn is looking at the Jedi. No, not the Jedi Temple. It's the Jedi Academy. But yeah, no. Well, it's the Masasi Temple, but whatever. Yeah, at least Corran has the silver lightsaber. That's correct. But yeah, I think this is AI. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the old cover, but this cover doesn't look that great. So yeah, how many more do we got? Oh, just one more. Survivor's Quest. Oh, this is ugly. What's with the weird, wacky colors? I don't get that. And then Mara Jade has the blue lightsaber. The hilt's incorrect though, because it's Anakin's lightsaber. Come on, people. If you're gonna do the artwork, do it right. This is boring. This is just Luke and Mara. There's nothing about a Survivor's Quest or anything revolving around Outbound Flight. That's awful. It's all garbage. Yeah, what's the old cover? Yeah, the old cover's better. This is unsightly. Really ugly. What was wrong with the Drew Struzan covers or the Tom Jung covers? Does Disney have to pay the artist? I don't understand these new covers and their purpose. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because if you're gonna do a new cover, it needs to look good, and most of these just don't. And almost all of them, I would say, are not as good as the old cover. The old cover almost all the time is way better than what we get here. I don't think there's which ones would I say the Essential is better than? No, old's better. Old's better. Old's better. I think old is better because the style is, but I do really like this one. What else do we have? Choices of one. The old one's better. Scoundrels. This one's close. The old one's better. So the old one is better. This one, we'll say old. Old. The Kenobi, well, it's very similar. It's just Obi-Wan. But I think the old one's a little bit better. Outbound Flight, the old one's better. Rogue Planet, we'll say the old one just because it has no inaccuracies. Shadow Hunter, actually, I think this one is better. I think it's more interesting because at least the paperback has it's got like a scope with Darth Maul in it. I don't think it looks very good. The old Plagueis is better. Dawn of the Jedi, the old one's better. The Thrawn, the old one's better. We'll just say X-Wing as a whole, the old ones are better. Honor Among Thieves is the old one's better. This one's better than Razor's Edge. These are. I like both. That's hard to say. The old covers I think are better. Yoda Dark Rendezvous, the old cover's better. Shatterpoint, old cover's better. The Bane, old is better. These 5, the old ones are better. Yeah, and then that's it. Okay, yeah. So what is that like? We'll just say like 95%. Hello, Autotect. Form a nice queue, ladies. Autotect has entered the chat. I don't think there's a whole lot of ladies watching this stream. I think Heir to the Empire looks okay. Yeah, some look fine. A lot don't. And yeah, not very many look great, which is a shame because there's so many cool things that you could do. Because if you're gonna redo the cover, it's been all these books are old now, so you could pull from a cool scene in the book that would make a really good cover. But nope. I bet most of the artists that did work for this, they probably haven't even read those books. I'm not that big of a fan of the old cover for Dark Rendezvous. The old one is just a bunch of Attack of the Clones screen caps edited together. I'd have liked some original art for the story. Yeah. There's a lot of covers that are like that, like Cloak of Deception is just screen caps from the movies. What else? They kind of did that a lot. Inside the covers, do they have the timeline? No, they do not have the EU timeline. They should, because that would actually make a lot of sense. The thing that made no sense to me was relabeling the X-Wing series Rogue Squadron for a film that never got made and was replaced by Starfighter. Disney makes the oddest choices. Well, yeah, Disney doesn't know what to do with Star Wars. Unfortunately, it's a shame that they're the people in charge. But yeah. Well, that is all the covers. What's your favorite of these covers? Which one do you think is the best? Because I think the one that I think is the best is probably Shadowhunter. I think that one's the best. Or Shadows of the Empire is good too. I think those two look the best. They don't have like weird colors. Missed opportunity to say that about covers it. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, and I think the worst covers Dawn of the Jedi and probably the Republic Commando ones don't look that great because they don't. It doesn't look like Republic Commandos on the cover. But yeah. All right, let's change the music. It's been that for a while, so we'll change it to this. Okay. All right. All right. Well, we'll go for a few more minutes. wait for some more answers. But yeah. All right. While we're waiting for that, let's see. Well, next week, I don't know which day because it depends on if I have guests on the stream. But next week, I will do the first of a series of live streams talking about the new Jedi Order. In that one, we'll be talking about the first 3 books in the series. I'm looking forward to that. I'm cruising through the books. They're really great. Yeah. See, like, New Jedi Order is essential, so I don't know why they haven't reprinted them in the Essential Legends. I'd be your guest, but I haven't read New Jedi Order. Oh. Well, yeah, that might not be fun, because it will be spoilers. I'm not, so if you haven't read it and you don't want the series spoiled, then that's probably a stream that you might want to hold off on. If you ever want to talk one of the comics I dubbed, I'd be down though. Oh, well, when I get to comics, I wouldn't mind doing live streams talking about the various comics. I think it would be fun to do a stream, well, probably multiple streams talking about the Republic comics and all that stuff. And yeah, so when I get around to that, yeah, I think that'd be good. That sounds fun. But yeah, as for videos on the channel, tomorrow's video will be a video on protocol droids, a bunch of different kinds. The 3POs, GE3 series, the LOM series, or LOM, however you want to say it. Yeah, and some others. There is mass market edition of New Jedi Order, isn't there, that has the Legends banner? Yep. There are, yeah. Because that's what I have. Oh, some good stuff. It's really good stuff on those books. And then Saturday's video will be on every actor for Obi-Wan Kenobi in, movie, TV shows, video game, and audio dramas. I just had a theory regarding the RA7 droids, if you want to hear. Go right ahead and share. The RA7 droids. Or the Death Star droid. The protocol droid that looks... how would you describe that? It's got its eyes kind of look insectoid. And then it's got kind of like a triangular mouth. Well, maybe an upside down triangle. Right? So I'd have to look a picture. But yeah. Then next week will be a video ranking the Timothy Zahn novels, since I've read all them now. Well, I didn't finish Choices of One, but Best audio speaker. AJ, I'm confused by that. Can you elaborate a little bit, please? I have most of the books on CD, but they are not unabridged. But Vector Prime was only on cassette. Oh yeah. Yeah, I hate abridged audiobooks. That's a shame that that was the normal thing back then, but yeah. See, and that's one of the nice things about this Essential Legends collection is they have gone back and done audio books for the books that had abridged. So I believe Rogue Squadron, the X-Wing, I think they were abridged, and they all have audio books now. So that's awesome. Oh, we got tons of comments. Good heck. Let's see, and then Odd Attacked. Okay, so you know how in the EU the RA-7s were built to spy on Imperial officers? Yes. There was one in the Sandcrawler when 3PO and R2 were abducted. That's true. That's true. So your theory is that droid reported them to the Empire. That droid is responsible for the Empire destroying that Sandcrawler and afterwards the Lars homestead. That's interesting. Because, let's see, so the stormtroopers would have... Yeah, because how would they have known? Well, I guess they could track the tracks, but that would take a long time. That actually would make sense. That the droid reported in, and then that's how they were able to find the Sandcrawler. I like that theory. That's cool. The abridgments aren't recommended. No, because aren't the abridged audiobook, aren't they like 3 hours long when it probably would have taken 10, 12 hours if it was unabridged? You're cutting out way too much information. And for NJO, you don't want to cut out that much. That's like, yeah, that's like 75% of the story you're cutting out. That's way too much. For the Star Wars audio, who's my favorite narrator for Star Wars audiobooks? Well, I haven't listened to a ton. Let's see. You got Jonathan Davis, who did... Is it Jonathan Davis that did Plagueis? He's really good. And who's the one guy that does a bunch? You know, he's done like the Thrawn trilogy, and what's his name? I can't remember what his name is. He's good. I would say those two, but I think I've only listened to 3 because I listened to the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy audiobooks that are abridged. And is that Anthony Heald? I think. Yeah, he's okay, but they're abridged. But for those books I didn't care because I don't like that trilogy. I'm not a fan of that. That droid is indirectly responsible for Luke becoming a Jedi and rebuilding the Order. Insert Domino meme here. Domino meme. Is that Domino from Deadpool? Probably. Mark Thompson. Thank you, Matthew. Yes, Mark Thompson. He did what I've listened to that he's done is he did the Deceived audiobook, Fatal Alliance audiobook. And I've listened to both of those. And Deceived was fantastic, and he does a really good job doing that. So I'm sure eventually I'll get around to listening to the Thrawn trilogy and some of the other stuff. Oh, probably Rogue Squadron. He probably does the Rogue Squadron, the new unabridged audiobooks. He does a ton. He's the one that I feel like they call upon. But he does a good job. No, I don't like Deadpool. The meme shows a small domino. Oh, okay. Eventually snowball affecting into doing something here. Oh, okay. I was just guessing, but yeah, okay. All right, interesting. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Many actors have played Kenobi, but we all know there can be Obi-Wan. Yeah. Yep. That video will be exciting. Oh. Yep. Oh. I had his Heir to the Empire on CD. They did not do the other two except on Audible. Oh, really? Oh, I see. So Dark Force Rising, the newer version, and the Last Command are only on Audible. They didn't do a physical. Hmm. That's a shame. I like physical, because if you own it physically, they can't come and screw with it, which is nice. Because yeah, because at some point they could take it off Audible, and then you could never find it. Shout out to Captain George, voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi in my comic dubs. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've watched a couple of your comic dub videos. They're really good. If you have no interest in reading a comic book, but you still want to get the story, videos like that I think are a good way of getting the story in a fun and entertaining manner. Because don't you? Yeah, you do music. Do you do sound effects in those videos? I think you do. Yeah, you're welcome. I've seen a few. I can't remember exactly which ones, but I think there was one with Kit Fisto and Ayla Secura on Camino, I think. I watched it because it had Kit Fisto in it, so yeah. But yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff. I haven't watched more because I want to read the comics. But once I read those comics, um, yeah, I'll probably watch some. Define doing sound effects. You mean creating from scratch, or just editing them in? Whichever. Just any sound effects, whether they're lightsabers igniting or blaster shots, ships taking off, stuff like that. Stuff that adds to the atmosphere. Well, you mean Tides of Terror? That one was fun. I also did another Kit Fisto story in Means and Ends. I also voiced Kit in both. Cool. Have they done all the Zon Mara books yet? I think they didn't do Choices of One. They did. Yes. I'll pull the cover up. I believe it's coming out later this year. I think it's one of the more recent waves. Yeah, here's Choices of One. So I think they've done all of Timothy Zahn's Star Wars books except the Hand of Thrawn duology, which is kind of weird. So I'm sure they're going to do that here in the next couple waves, because at this point you've done all his other stuff, and the Thrawn duology is better than some of the other ones they've done, so you might as well. Oh, I don't make them, I just edit them. One exception is the Cup. Micah Gillett moves in Jedi Council Acts of War Part 1, which I recorded myself. Oh, cool. Well, sound effects, they add to it, Oh, you mean the unabridged audio for Choices? I don't think they've done audio for Choices of One, but let's check. Let's see. They got Shatterpoint, Dark Rendezvous, Force Unleashed, the X-Wing stuff, Shadowhunter, Rogue Planet, Outbound Flight, Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader, Shadows of the Empire, Courtship, My Jedi, Survivor's. Nope, it looks like they have not done it yet. So either they won't do it, or it'll be out within a year or so. Because actually, when is... Let's see when Choices of One is supposed to come out. It might not be out yet. So the audio... Let's see, Choices of One is more in the middle of the timeline. Let's see, Choices of One. Let's see. Okay, so Choices of One, the book is... Okay, it's releasing November of this year. Okay. Yeah, is that the... Because I don't think we have anything scheduled for 2026, although I'm sure there's leaks and rumors for what we're getting next. Also, you're a Fisto fan, based. He was my favorite as a kid, and I love him to this day. He was my favorite. Well, was he my favorite Jedi as a kid? I don't know. Probably, but I liked him because he's green and his lightsaber's green. He's a Jedi. He's a cool alien. Um, yeah. My favorite color when I was a kid was green. So yeah, but no, he looks cool. Nautilins are my favorite alien in Star Wars. They're cool. Yep. All right. I love green too. Same reasons. Oh, really? Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Kit Fisto is pretty cool, but I like aliens. I like Alien Jedi. Yeah. Not enough stories have alien characters. They're usually one or two or none. But yeah, good stuff. Well, I think that's... Well, let's see. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Oh, I got a question. If the EU continued, how would you feel about some Disney canon elements making it in? Not major plot points, but stuff like sequel aliens walking around in the background. Depends on the sequel aliens, because in my opinion, most of the aliens that Disney has designed, I don't like. But if the EU continued and they sprinkled in a couple of Disney canon aliens, I think I could live with that, as long as it isn't like going heavy-handed with it. I'd much rather have them incorporate a couple of alien species than like characters or plot points from Disney canon stuff, because that I think would be... But yeah, some aliens, sure, but my preference is to not do that. I'd rather keep them separate. I grew up with the original, so seeing Star Wars through the eyes of prequel fans is interesting to say the least. Yep. I'm a big prequel fan. I'm pretty sure my first Star Wars movie that I watched was either The Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones. It wasn't the original trilogy, because we didn't have them on VHS at the time, but we did have The Phantom Menace, and we got Attack of the Clones on DVD. So yeah, because we got the original trilogy on DVD when it came out in 2004. So, but I watched that a ton once we got that. Yeah, so I like all six. It's kind of hard to rank them. Well, yeah, Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi are my favorites, but after that, it's, you can kind of... the order changes every day. I was hired to compose music for some Disney canon music. Oh, I reused them in my EU comic dubs. Does that count as Disney content making it into the EU? No, I wouldn't count that. For some Disney canon comic dubs. Oh, you made some music for Disney canon comic dubs? Oh, cool. I've read some Disney canon comics. They're mostly not that great. They're kind of pointless, and they don't matter. They don't tell any like meaningful stories, at least what I've read. I was hired to compose music for some Disney canon comic book and reuse them in my EU comic book. Does that count? Oh, okay. I would say no. I think I saw Empire first, Star Wars second, and Return of the Jedi in the cinema. And then I saw the 1997 edits in cinema and all of the prequels. Stopped at Force Awakens. Disney is not for me. Yeah. Well, when Force Awakens came out, I enjoyed that. I was excited. I remember watching the trailer and all that. I was really excited, as I think a lot of people were. But yeah, then Yeah. And then, went and saw Rogue One, and I enjoyed that for the most part. And then The Last Jedi came, and, you know, I remember sitting in the theater like, wow, I don't like that. I don't like that. But, then when you walk out of the theater with Last Jedi, it's like, yeah, I like this movie. But the more you think about it, the more you're like, wow, the Luke stuff I didn't like. I didn't like um the Finn's plot point with on Casino, no, not Casino Royale. The Casino Planet, whatever it's called, Canto Bight. Um that felt like a pointless, yeah, so yeah. And then when Rise of Skywalker came out, I went saw it in the theater. Uh out of curiosity, wasn't really excited. Walked out kind of like indifferent, like I I didn't enjoy it. It was dumb. Yeah, not that great of a movie. I don't remember which order I watched them in, but I have the earliest memories of Phantom Menace. Yep. Phantom Menace was my favorite as a kid. Um, Probably because of the pod race, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Darth Maul. I've been a big fan of all of those things for a long time. Which makes sense since I was born in 98. Oh, I was born in 1999. The Last Jedi nailed that coffin shut. As I've said on many occasions, I went back to my old unaltered trilogy and EU for enjoyment. And theatrical Phantom Menace. Oh, Matthew, do you not like Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? It's your favorite today, actually. Don't judge. I don't judge. That's fine. I'd judge you a little bit if you said one of the Disney ones is your favorite, but hey. Yeah. Especially if you said Rise of Skywalker was your favorite. That's a weird one to choose as your favorite, in my opinion. I have those on DVD. Oh, cool. I remember the DVDs for the prequels and the originals. Oh, they're so cool. I love the covers, and the DVD menus. They're great. They don't put effort into DVD menus and special features and bonus features and all that stuff anymore. It's a shame. No, not the Disney ones, I assure you. Yeah. I meant only 4 films are on Laserdisc. Oh, and you do a marathon of them. Oh, I see. You have some Laserdisc stuff. Cool. I've seen the prequels not too long ago. It did its job. It kind of wished we would see more backgrounders do stuff. Calcite, are you saying you watched the prequels for the first time not too long ago? Is that or you did a recent rewatch? When do you want to get into comic books? Well, I want to start reading Tales of the Jedi. So when I get all of the Tales of the Jedi comics, I will probably start reading and start making videos on them. So I'm about halfway through collecting all of it. It's taken quite a while because I don't see them a ton when I go to comic book stores. So, but yeah, so hopefully by the end of the year I can have all of that. So in the new year I can start doing a little bit of comic book stuff. Yes. Yes to which? You watched them for the first time or a rewatch? Oh, we got a bunch of comments coming in. First time. I almost finished watching Return of the Jedi and first Star Wars before adding A New Hope in title. So you watched them recently for the first time. Cool. and you said it did its job. Kind of wished we'd see more backgrounders do stuff. By backgrounders, do you mean like other Jedi? Or, yeah, like who exactly do you mean by backgrounders that you would like to see do more stuff? Just out of curiosity. Because, do you want to read comics in chronological order so you'd get into Phantom Menace era comics and work your way to comics at Turn of the... I don't know how I'm going to do it. I think it'll just be, oh, I want to read that. But right, yeah, like Tales of the Jedi is what I feel like starting with first. And then after Tales of the Jedi, I might go on to the KOTOR stuff, or I might go to like the prequel stuff with Republic. I don't know, it depends. I will at some point watch the special edition 2000 set I have, the Japanese with the episode 2 preview with the actors of young Uncle Owen and Beru. Oh, cool. Oh, I think I saw in a used a thrift store. I think I saw the Japanese Star Wars. I think it was Japanese. A special edition thing for Star. I can't remember if it was all 6 or if it was a specific movie, but yeah, I thought about buying it just because I thought it was kind of cool. Wow, 7 people are watching. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, I'm out of things to talk about for now, so I think we'll wrap it there. All right. Thank you to everyone watching and watched, and thank you to Matthew, Autotech, Calcite, and AJ for commenting. I appreciate it. We got this comment that we'll read. There is a Star Wars Saga 1-6 comic, but Star Wars is the special edition from Barreto and not Chaikin. Okay. Yep. All right. Yeah. Thank you for watching, and yeah. Until the next live stream. Goodbye.